The Black Dahlia, President Ford, and Wanda Vision are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is January 15th, 2021. It is the 15th day of the year. We got 350 days left. It is the third Friday and the 26th day of winter. Today is National Hat Day. National Hat Day celebrates the different types and styles of hats. This observance intends to encourage people to go out and wear hats. According to local historians, of wherever, I don't know, just what it says on the website, local historians. Where is that locale? I'd like to know. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, these local historians say that people have worn hats since ancient times to protect their skin from the sun. The observance occurs every year on January 15th. You know, you'd think since the sun thing and they used it to protect it, they would have done it in the summer. I think that'd be more appropriate. I don't know. I'm not a local historian. All right. Let's see what else January 15th has given us. 1919, the Great Molasses Flood. Yes, that is a real thing. A wave of molasses released from an exploding storage tank, and it sweeps through Boston, Massachusetts. It was at the top of a hill, went down the hill, and it killed 21 people, injuring 150 others. They had these giant wooden tanks holding molasses that they would put on ships, because Boston at the time was a big shipping harbor. And Boston had an unseasonably hot day. One of the tanks blew up, and a wave of hot molasses syrup flowed down the street and killed people. How'd you like to be that cop that had to go notify the next of kin on that one? For me, the biggest challenge there would be not giggling while I explained what happened to their loved one. They died in molasses syrup on the streets of Boston. That's horrible. Anyway, moving on. 1936, the first building to be completely covered in glass is built in Toledo, Ohio. 1947, the Black Dalia murder. The dismembered corpse of Elizabeth Short was found in Los Angeles. Everybody knows about this one. If you don't, the Black Dahlia was a struggling actress in Hollywood. One day she turned up in a vacant lot in Los Angeles, cut into pieces. The case has never been solved. Over the years, you always hear someone come out and say, my father was the Black Dahlia murderer. There's always someone, and they're never proven who killed this poor girl. They did do a movie called The Black Dahlia, and it was about nothing about the Black Dahlia. I mean, it happened during the time of the Black Dahlia, but you watch the movie, I'm expecting them to get in deep with the whole murder of the Black Dahlia. No, it was a side note to the whole overall story. It was weak. 1976, Gerald Ford's would-be assassin Sarah Jane Moore is sentenced to life in prison. Sarah Jane Moore, she's an American criminal basically who attempted to assassinate U.S. President Gerald Ford in 1975. She was given a life sentence for the attempted assassination and was released from prison on December 31st, 2007, after serving 32 years. So if she would have hit him or killed him, she would have done the full ride, but she didn't. Now, this is kind of weird. Moore and Lynette Squeaky Fromm are the only two women to have attempted to assassinate an American president. Both of their attempts were on Gerald Ford, and both took place in California within 3 weeks of one another. Yeah, and Squeaky Fromm's one of the Manson bunch, so she was a mess already. Now, Moore was a little weird. She'd been a nursing school student and for a while a Women's Army Corps recruit, and then she became an accountant. She was divorced 5 different times, and she had 4 children. Then sometime around the early 70s, late 60s, she kind of got revolutionary with her politics. People started worrying about her, so much so that the Secret Service evaluated her early in 1975, but agents decided that she posed no real danger to the president. Guess again. The police had come across her the day before the attempted assassination. They took a gun from her and sent her on her way. Obviously, she didn't tell them she was trying to kill the president. Anyway, she was on a mission, so she bought another gun later on that day. Luckily, she didn't have time to get used to the firearm, and she took a shot as the president was getting in a car from across the street, and she totally missed. And she had some really bad luck. She was standing next to an ex-Marine who grabbed her as she took the second shot. The second shot ricocheted and hit a taxi driver who actually survived. Now, what's really sad is the real victim here was Oliver Sipple, the Marine who'd grabbed the gun. Because of all the attention and everything like that and him living in San Francisco, it kind of came out that he was gay, and at the time wasn't out. He'd sued several newspaper publishers and things like that for invading his privacy, but they were all unsuccessful. He eventually, pretty much from everything I read, drank himself to death. 2001, Wikipedia, a free wiki content encyclopedia, goes online. Yeah, there's a really neat story about how Microsoft at the time had hired all these programmers and all these researchers, and they were building an online encyclopedia. They'd put millions and millions of dollars into this, and they were building this thing, and it was going to be free monthly fee to get on there and all this other stuff. And then Wikipedia launched for free and just destroyed what they'd been working on. Nobody was going to buy it. I think they actually published it and it was a total loss for them because of Wikipedia. Interesting. 2013, a train carrying Egyptian army recruits derails near Cairo, killing 19 and injuring 120 others. 2019, Theresa May's UK government suffers the biggest government defeat in modern times when 432 MPs voted against the proposed European Union withdrawal agreement, giving her opponents a majority of 230. Movies and TV shows released on January 15th, 1974, Happy Days was released. Yeah. Everybody, if you're anywhere near my age, you loved Happy Days growing up. It was great. 2021, Wanda Vision today is launched. That's on Disney Plus. It's the Vision from the Avengers and Wanda, the Scarlet Witch. They now live together and they're trying to be normal people. It's weird. It looks really strange. I can't wait to watch it. Born on January 15th, 1948, Ronnie Vanzant, American singer-songwriter. He was the lead singer of Lynyrd Skynyrd. Sadly, he died in 1977 when the band's plane went down in Mississippi. Yeah, they ran out of fuel, and it was a big band. There was a lot of people in it, and 3 people died. Ronnie Vanzant and a brother and a sister that were in the band, Cassie Gaines, who was a backup singer, and her brother Steve Gaines, who was a guitarist for the band. Ronnie's younger brother took over the lead singing for Lynyrd Skynyrd some years later. Died on January 15th. Jimmy Superfly Snuka. He was a Fijian professional wrestler. He was big in the late 70s, early 80s, well, through the 80s. I used to be into wrestling back in the day, and I remember him. He was great. He's like one of the first guys that always jumped off the ropes onto people and did flips and all kinds of stuff. He was great. But sadly, he died in 2017. He was 73 years old. 2018, we lost Dolores O'Riordan, Irish pop singer. She was the lead singer for the 90s band The Cranberries. Sadly, she may have died because of drinking, or it was weird. They found her dead in a bathtub, and they thought originally she drowned because of alcohol intoxication. There was all kinds of empty bottles in the hotel room and prescription drugs and all this other stuff. 2 days after her death, a tabloid newspaper spread a fake story rumoring that she had died of a fentanyl overdose. Later, the newspaper had to revise the story and say that they didn't know what the cause of death was. Yeah, it's pretty sad. She had a great voice. That was a great band, the Cranberries. I guess they're still going with the new singer. I don't know how that's going to work for them. I haven't heard anything from them. So it must not be that good. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go forth and be successful today. And be nice to each other.